This is Summit. Puppy Summit is 4 months old. By the way, he was just reverse sneezing. If he reverse sneezes, you can apply some pressure right on here underneath the rib cage, and that'll actually stop that. The reverse sneezing, it's very normal. It's what he was just doing a second ago. It's very normal. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to, if it prolongs, you can press here, and that'll help. Yes. All right. Well, this Summit puppy is unfortunately I don't have puppy classes here in Santa Monica, but I signed the Guardian up for the videos that we email people out. So she's getting all the lessons. So she's already quite a bit ahead of things. I want you to really focus on, remember, excited is not happy. So when he's excited, if you pet him when he's excited, and he's going to get more excited. Anything your dog is doing when you pet it is what you're specifically amplifying or rewarding. So if you pet an excited dog, you'll make it more excited. If you pet a dog that's barking, he'll bark more. Jumping up, jump up more. So yawn, yes. So for passive training, what we do is we reward the dog when it does the things we want voluntarily. So every time the Summit comes to you, pet him under his chin and say, come. Every time he sits down, pet him and say, sit. I taught one of my dogs to stretch this way. Every time he'd stretch, I pet him under his chin and say, stretch. I can say stretch now. He waggles his butt and stands up. When he drinks water, call it Merlot or Dr. Pepper or whatever the word is that you want to come up with a funny command word. Remember, dogs can read facial expression. They're the only animal on the planet that can do that. So come up with funny command words. Half of your command words should be funny. 5 years from now, everybody's going to be using fun command words. It's cutting edge dog training, but right now, very few people know about it. So when he takes his first bite of food, say chimichanga, taco, whatever your favorite food is. Every time for 4 months he takes his first bite of food, he hears the word taco. Everywhere I say taco, he runs over to eat. Every time he, and for the recall, that's the one that a lot of dogs have a problem with. So every time he comes to you, when you didn't call him, pet him and say come or here, whichever your word is, and pick just one. And if he, let's say he's just walking this way, and he walks in front of me, well, he's here, I'd pet him and say come, and let him go and do his own thing. After a while, come just means come to the human and get some attention. So whenever petting, try to pet under the chin, facilitate that nose up. A proud, confident dog has his nose in the air. Anytime he touches you with his teeth, yelp like that, pull back, wait a second, and if he does it again, often that, or he gets aggressive about it, that often means that they're overly tired. Are you trying to get a comfy spot? That means they're overly tired and they need a nap. Puppies sleep close to 20 hours a day. When he's an adult dog, he's probably going to sleep about 15, 16 hours a day. Yawn. So basically, remember they hear the first word you say. So if you're petting him for sitting, don't say good sit or good girl or good boy. Just say sit and not sit. You see that got his attention, but now that's a different sounding, that word is a completely different sound for him. So say just the command word. All right, so passive training is just basically rewarding him every time he does things you want. When he goes to his dog bed, come up with a name for the dog bed. Come up with a different name for the dog bed at your mom's house. Every time he goes to his kennel, call it, Marriott or Four Seasons, or come up with a funny word that means that. Every time he goes to the long-term confinement area, call it, Toys R Us or whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of toys there. So passive training is the easiest way to train a dog. It just really requires some observance from you. So every time that he does the things you want, make sure within 3 seconds of him doing it, you pat him under his chin and say just the command word, not good sit, not Summit sit, just sit. Petting with a purpose is something I go over with a lot of my clients as well. If he comes up and nudges me or jumps up or paws at me for attention and I pet him, I consider petting a dog our way of paying them. So he told me what to do and I paid him. So that validates to him, you're in charge of the humans. And if you're in charge of the humans, then listening to humans is optional. So what you want to do instead is if he comes, next time he comes and nudges you, tell him to sit. If he's already sitting, ask him to come and sit somewhere else or tell him to lay down. I would not practice shake at all, even until he's at least 1.5 years old. Otherwise he gets a little confused. They'll put their paws up in you and that could be a way of claiming you. So when he comes up and tells you what to do, nothing happens other than you tell him to do something else, a desirable behavior, sit or down. And if he does sit within 3 seconds, pet him under his chin and say the word sit or down, just the word. If he doesn't do it within 3 seconds of you asking the first time, show him you have other things going on. Playing hard to get works great for for dating, it works great for puppies too. So if you just say, look, if you want my attention, you have to do something to earn it first. That'll boost his self-esteem. It'll help with his confidence. It'll help with his respect for humans. I'm gonna put you on your back and give you some belly rubs to keep you placated so I can keep you in this video. We're almost done, I promise. Now, normally, if he wants to get away, you would let him do that. Now, unless he's like squirming and wiggling and you're holding him, If you let him go, then he thinks squirming and wiggling is the way to get away. So if that's the case, you wait for him to be calm, then let him go when he's calm. So that's what you're rewarding. So for petting with a purpose, going back to that, is if he tells you what to do now, nothing happens. But if you tell him what to do and he does it, he gets rewarded. After a while, he'll figure this out and he'll start coming in front of you and sitting down to prepay for attention. When he does that, make sure, you bet your butt, we better pet him. Pet him under his chin and pet him once to an infinity number of times. And so after a while, he'll just come and start sitting in front of you to prepay. And when he does that, make sure you do pet him. I just said that twice. Now, let's say that you want to pet him. You should still tell him to sit. If he doesn't, like I said, show him that you got other things going on. After a while, he'll start missing that petting, and he's more motivated now to want to sit and listen to you. When he licks you, use passive training. Let's call it kisses. For my dogs, if they lick me anywhere, I call it kisses. If they lick me right here, I call it love. Love is kiss me in the face. So that's just a way I did that. I was just saying every time he licked me here, I'd say love. Anywhere else, it was a kiss. The potty training video above will help. The videos that we're going over in our class will help. Make sure, like I said, you don't repeat things multiple times. The more you repeat it, the less you mean it. For mom, if mom wants to give treats, that's fine. She gives as many treats as she wants as long as the dog does something to earn them first, or affection. But it's just a great way to help him see and respect her as an authority figure. He is eventually going to be very strong and very torquey. It'll be in mom and you and everyone's best interest to get him to voluntarily want to listen to you, not pulling him away just because he wants to. Right? Yes. Keep on setting up those play dates. Remember, true personality doesn't hit till they're 9 months, but it has to be positive. If there's a negative experience, he wants to get away and the other dog won't let him, move away. When you're meeting people on the street, judge the people and their dog as they're walking towards you. Is the dog walking next to them? Is it pulling on a leash? Is it barking? Is it lunging? Is it growling? Is it staring at your dog? If it's doing those things, they may want to skip it. And it might be a good idea to skip every other dog that you meet just to get him in a habit. A lot of people meet every dog and it's great socialization, but then the first time you meet an aggressive dog, he wants to meet, he doesn't understand why you can't do that. So that's why we want to get him, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And after a while, then he's like, okay, well, this is just one of those times I can't. Look for a puppy. I know we don't have classes here, but look for somebody that has puppy classes so you can do play dates. I would love to see you find, even if it's only 4 or 6 weeks, so that he gets to play with some other puppies. I know you're setting up those play grates, and those are great, and keep doing those. But the more socialization you possibly get him, the better. When you get him spayed or when you get him neutered, you won't get spayed. Use that laser. Check with your vet ahead of time because not all vets do that. Now, sexual maturity comes in around 8 or 9 months, and if he starts getting growly or aggressive or territorial, then remember it takes up to 3 weeks for those hormones to get out of his system. So instead of waiting and letting it, and then it gets really bad and then you get it done, well, now every time you see a dog, he's going to be protective or possessive. I would like to wait until they're about 80 weeks old so that their growth plates close, but it's not necessary. I would very much prefer to get it done earlier and have the growth plates not close when you neuter him than have him develop an aggression issue because it's just really difficult. Trying to think. That's primarily it. Like I said, all these videos where I send you with the puppy class, keep those because there's a lot of great information in there. If you have any questions or things stop working, let us know. And if you want to set up those sessions like once a month when I'm back in town, we can work on specific things. I just do those as 1-hour follow-up sessions. This first one's where we cover a whole bunch of stuff. So please call or text me if you have any questions. Anything else you want me to cover?
Nope, that's
all
it.
Right.
You're the best.
Well, this is Summit. Isn't he a handsome fella? And this is Summit's Roadmap to Success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog. Only sometimes you mean it. See ya.